This video is going to be only about the West. Everyone knows that this world have a lot of groups. There is certain groups considered powerful groups. When we talk about our human, the human power, China is a power. There is Russia is a power. In Africa there is a power. It's weaker than others. In Iran, it's weaker than others. The establishment of the so-called Israeli state is a power at the end. So Turkey is a power, Europe is a power, the United States of America, the West is a power. I'm gonna talk about the West. I'm just gonna explain to you certain things right now. When someone from calling for what is good for the Ismailians, he have a problem with the Saud house. Okay, let's talk about the Saud house. I'm not going to talk about other Gulf states. I have explained a lot. I don't need to explain again and again. And many people understand what I'm trying to say, the smart ones, or knowledgeable, or those who are aware. If someone coming from Saudi Arabia and running away from the interference of the West itself from the first place, and going to the West and he's, we can say, coming and finding that there is I don't want to mention anything about religion and devil, and he's finding a way to explain and express his opinion in the West, though the West is an enemy. But this is how it is. There is what they call human rights councils. There is some freedom of speech. So I don't want to use the word taking advantage, because he's forced. He's the victim here. And he's coming to the West. Then the West and others. I'm talking about the West. You need to understand this. You need to understand this. You make people angry. That's it. Okay. So he's going to the West and he's explaining and saying, I'm calling for what is good for the Ismailian. You might call it conservative way of living. And what's happening in Saudi Arabia is not representing the Ismailian. All of a sudden, you find some people, viewers, working with the human rights, others in Middle East and outside Middle East, Muslim, non-Muslim, coming and saying, for example, someone like Dr. Saud al-Faqih. I don't want to give an example, or even Miro. Regardless, someone of the West will come and say, what are you calling for? So you're calling the same. You want the same conservative way. They consider it conservatives. You know what? So you don't want any change. You're coming here in the West and you're complaining from what you consider Saudi Arabia. You don't want to change it. So you don't want any pubs, any bars. You don't want any house of worshipping creature, not the God. You don't want bow to those intruders or minorities. You don't want to divide the Ismailian territory of Saudi Arabia. You are coming from Saudi Arabia and you don't want women to be, you don't want the environment to be open so that we would find some prostitutes and hotels and places, sex houses. What are you calling for? You don't want secularism or liberalism. Then why are you coming here? This is a crime. It's hard. It's easy and hard. It depends on you, how knowledgeable and aware you are, or how smart you are, how capable to understand you are. I'm not going to speak more. And at the same time, they would say, you know what, let's not talk about those who want to represent the Ismailian and they have problem with Saudi Arabia and they want conservative way, Let's go and support those who are not Ismailians, who want to divide the country, those who doesn't want Saud house because it's conservative, religious way, native way. Okay, find anyone from those who are not Ismailian, don't want to use any word. Oh, they're calling for gay rights. Good one. Liberalism, seculars. I don't want to mention names, like Raif Badawi and others. These people support these people. Don't support this kind or others. Don't support the Ismailians. Support those who are not Ismailians, who are coming here because they want to live the way we are living in the West, in the service Nothing to do with freedom of speech. Nothing to do with the heritage of Europe and things. No. Those who want prostitution, pubs, alcohol, society imposing alcohol, prostitutes having the right to walk the way they want there, who want to expose the Ishmaelian, and of course add more consuming society, consuming ways and methods. Yes, we don't need to talk to those who are considered conservative. They don't want. Some of them will speak Arabic, some of them doesn't speak Arabic, some of them are not from the West, working with the West. So why we need to help someone who is considered Wahhabist coming from Saudi Arabia and criticizing the Saudi government? You don't want to change anything. So at the same time, if I go to the Ismailian territory, I would feel a little bit strange. The country is not the way I want. It's not Las Vegas. It's not Holland and some cities in Holland. What I can see, I can go to some places where women are nude in the windows. Oh my God. It's not Thailand. Why you are even here complaining from Saudi House? Let's support those who are not Ismailians. Yeah. By this, the West is worse than the barbaric. See the barbaric? George Bush Jr., he said, those barbaric, those who are barbaric. He talked about some reactions from in 2006 and 2007. He talked about this. He used to say that those people are barbaric, the Muslim, those who are resisting. And he forget what Sharon did to Yasser Arafat. The place where Yasser Arafat, the Palestinian president, was there, trying to represent the Palestinian. Those who call themselves Israeli went inside and killed so many at the same place of center of his government. They killed them, terrorized them in a very terrible way. Worse, this is before ISIS. This is before all of what's happening in Iraq, even before going to Iraq. So you have a problem. You don't understand things in the West and other places. You have a problem. At the same time, when you do this criticism to those who come and cry for the sickness that you are imposing in the Ishmaelian land, because you don't understand the Ishmaelian, because you're intruder in the Middle East, go to those who are white and call themselves Jews. You are not Israeli. You got nothing to do with this. Why you're doing this? Why you're doing this? West Bank? Then we want peace. Jerusalem is the capital. What is crime? C-R-I-M-E. Crime, 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 crime. You don't care. God cares. And you need نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم, and you shall be nice. Now regardless, I find that China is being empowered right now. It's a matter of time anyway. Regardless, I don't want to talk about. So this is what the West is doing. This is the sickness that the West is bringing. Ignorance, people there. In the meantime, the same time, the Saudi House are looking. Well, you know what? Since the 90s, 80s, after 2000, all of those who ran away from the Saudi House are saying this. I'm not going to talk about Gulf States. Even Gulf States, but I'm not going to talk about Gulf States. Another. West is only supporting those who are open, or those who are calling themselves Shiite, or those who are not Ishmaelians. If someone not Ishmaelian running away to Europe or in the West and doesn't maybe have a clue or doesn't care about in races as well against the Ishmaelians, and he want to change the Ishmaelian the way it suits he want to change the Ishmaelian the way it suits the enemies of Ishmaelians, immediately the West give him a full support. Absolutely full support. So what is the message you are sending to the Saudi House? The Saudi House, everyone knows that these agents are corrupted. I know that you're enjoying that there is a little bit rain outside and I'm visiting. You enjoy that I have no place to even put uploads and videos even to feel a little bit relaxed as a therapy. Everyone will pay the price. Everyone will pay the price, not me, you. This emotion will not be, it's part of this world, my emotion. It's part of this existence, and there will be people who will pay the price. In this life and also after, but in this life as well. Because this anger, you got no right to increase it or create it from the first place. Either you are in the West or in the Middle East or the agents. So, the throne, the Saud house are corrupted. No one need to discuss the case that this Saud house is an absolute representation of corruption. Everyone know it. All levels or aspects. And others as well. But I'm talking about Saud house. So, the Saud house would do something. Will say the following. Listen, don't delete this video. I'm complying. This is what's happening. The Saud house will say, fuck the Ishmael. Easy. We have a government. Step by step. And of course there is some Lebanese working with them. Others, not Ishmaelians, either they call themselves Muslim or not, Egyptians. I don't need to mention any names. And even European and others. They are working with them to do this change. This change is what? It's a fact. In the media, in the government, they even brought some people from Iraq who used to work in the security service to do certain things in jails. Check about that. They go deal with Egypt and others. Companies in America and things like that. Regardless, destroy the Ishmaelians. Saud House will say this. Don't talk to the Ishmaelians. Ignore the majority. Delete their right and do a change. We want cinemas. We want women driving and things like that. We want prostitution. We want Las Vegas way, Thailand way. We want the change that is suitable to the change that suits this powers outside, starting from the West, and cut the road to the Iranian. Give those who call themselves Shiite position. Even in the company I used to work, they put one of the vice president, someone who called himself Shiite, put them in more positions. Everyone knows that they are not Ishmaelians. They are originally from outside. Like, for example, the Pakistanis and England, originally from outside. Put them in positions and destroy the natives. Remember that the Pakistanis here in England, this Great Britain, England occupied their country before. Put this in your mind. And some of them descended from India, and they ran, thousands of them ran from India from the persecution of those who call themselves Indian, and settled in Pakistan. So it's it's a bit different case. And all of those who are considered who are Pakistanis, here they are not bringing any corruption, because there is a structure of a country. The structure of the country here in England was settled centuries and centuries ago. But when it's come to the Ishmaelian, no. It started at the time of the fall of the Ottoman. Can see Palestine, for example. Look what's happened there. So the Ishmaelian, I'm losing my mind in it, my points here. So the structure, there is no. Of course, you're angry from me. Of course, you're angry, either you are a male or female, because you are a corrupter and you're attacking someone else's right. Either you are a man or a woman. Of course, you don't like what I'm trying to say. I understand. The criminal, when he enter a house to steal, a criminal, Do you think that he wanted the owner to stop him? No. If the owner attacked him, there is a lot of stealers who went inside, and when the owner of the house tried to stop him, the criminal shot him. And he said, "You fucking go away, go back, give me your money, give me your money." Do you understand me? This is the anger that you got, or this is the resentment, or this is the disacceptance that you got toward me, because you're a criminal. I think everyone understands. So the government is saying, let's cut the road for the Syrian regime. The Syrian regime is saying that we are Wahhabis and whatever, and women in Damascus, they are free to work as prostitutes. Everyone know it. You know what? Change it. The commission is stopped here in Saudi Arabia. Yes. Oh, Emirate. I have talked about the role of Gulf states starting from Emirate. I don't want to go there. This way, those non-Muslims, those who left Islam, those who are not Ismailian, who are racist against the Ismailian, will scream at the West, and the West will look at them and they will say, you know what, Saud House did everything. Okay, it's just freedom of speak and think. Then you go to the political system in America, keep it this way. We don't want democracy there. Well, this will bring a curse and a destruction. Either you believe in God or don't, it will bring something not good. See, because we are all in one boat, or one ship, or whatever. You fucked my life, you're fucking yourself. It needs time. Absolutely, just need time. Trust me. And I pray, and God shall answer my calls. Just I'm explaining to you, so I'm just explaining how the Saud House start neglecting the Ismailians. I saw an interview. This is an example, and I give likes. A journalist, a viewer, talking to Saad al-Faqih. One is English, and the other gentleman, I think he's a Lebanese or Syrian, not a Muslim. And others who are Muslims as well, who criticized Saad al-Faqih. And they said, you are talking about Sheikh Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, and you are considered from those Wahhabists. And Saad al-Faqih himself is saying, what is the meaning of Wahhabist? So they are complaining, why you are criticizing the Saud House. I need to see this. My English is not perfect, but you are from the Wahhabist school. Why you are here? Stay there in Saudi Arabia, keep your mouth shut, and don't ask for any freedom of speech. Do not criticize the way Saudi regime is relating itself to Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, which is a lie. They have nothing to do with him. And be a slave. If you want to be opposition to the Saud House, you need to be a pimp. Do you hear me? No dignity, and you need to take all the methods of non-Ismailian. Either you call yourself a Shiite, either you start calling for dividing Saudi Arabia, are you trying to give tanazulat, give us more, or you call yourself a Hijazi, all of those non-Ismailian, and disconnect yourself from religion. Come. You want to be a gay and you want gays' right? Come to us. You want prostitutes to have the right to walk there with alliances in Saudi Arabia? Come here, we will accept you. You want to leave Islam? Fine. You want other house of worship? You don't want to show respect to the word of God? Come to the West. But if you want to represent the Ismailian who are under a terrible persecution and dictatorship since the last century, don't come to us. This is the West. The West represents freedom. And I'm the devil owning the West. And I'm speaking to you, Tariq. Welcome to my people. Yeah, welcome to my people. That you are a worshipper of the devil. You are one of the groups that worship the devil. Do you understand me? You are the most favored, darkest nation on this planet. I'm not talking about children. I'm not talking about some people here and there. There is other dark groups as well who share you worshiping the devil, that's for sure. Ishmaelian land is for the Ishmaelian people. The real Israelis are the real Israelis. Lies are not good. I have a personal case, a case of unjust. I can't continue right now because I'm a little bit angry. Personal unjust case with an alignment of understanding the Ishmaelian people right in the Ishmaeli land, and with an alignment of understanding Islam, which is submission to God Almighty. Keep worshipping the devil away from us. And if you want to represent freedom of speech, humanity, positive development, starting with you, Western people, play it fair. The atheist as well, an atheist person is always working for the devil. But there is atheist people who are a little bit less harsh against the Ishmaelian. I have dealt with many cases. I don't want to remember it. I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to talk about it. In hotels and places where I had training as well, and the shops, the big markets, and the media. You don't understand this pain. You're complaining from Muslims in New Zealand, in Canada, Russia as well, complaining. There is some Muslims who were beheaded in Moscow. Yeah, there is some videos and creep things happen and shot. Nazis groups. Why you're angry? Why the Peking government is angry with the Uyghurs? I'm wondering. I'm honestly wondering why the Irani government are angry from those who call themselves Muslim Sunnis, Muslims. The synagogue of Satan is there in Tehran. The house of worshipping the Antichrist is there in Tehran. Them, the so-called Shiite of the devil, are. But the normal Muslim have no right to be in Tehran. They are persecuted. The president must be an virgin. What is this nonsense? What is this nonsense? I curse you, enemies.